Welcome to Mythical TV. Now guys, tomorrow at 5:30 you take on Watford away at Vicarage Road in the Premier League. Now guys, obviously we are on the back of a loss against Manchester United in the Cup, and I just really hope that hasn't knocked our confidence. Now I know it wasn't our strongest team that played against Manchester United, it wasn't our first team. However, I just hope it really hasn't knocked our mentality and team spirit. I'm sure it won't have. I mean, the results before then were great. Obviously we beat Newcastle, we beat Ajax, we beat Burnley, we were doing really well, so we just need to continue that good spell against Watford tomorrow. Now we are currently sitting 4th in the table and Watford are 20th. They haven't won one Premier League game yet this season, so fingers crossed we do get the win. On paper we should be winning this game, let's be honest. No disrespect to Watford, but as I said, they haven't won one game this season. They're sitting 20th and we've been doing really well recently and we're sitting 4th, so we need to get a win. Like, it's a must-win game, and on paper we should be winning it, definitely. Now guys, last season we beat them 2-1. I was just having a little bit of a reflection back on that game actually, and obviously Eden Hazard and Kovacic scored against them. I mean, let's face it though, it is always a difficult game at Vicarage Road. Watford are a good side, don't get me wrong. Yeah, they are 20th, but they are a good side, and we do always struggle there. It is a London derby, and the pressure is on them. They know they need to be winning tomorrow's game and as many games as they can, because they obviously are 20th, they've lost all the games, they know they need to be winning the game, so it might give them a bit of momentum and motivation. They know they need to get the 3 points in every game coming up, because as I said, they're in a really bad place at the moment, so the pressure is on them, but we're doing well, so the pressure is on us as well after the Manchester United game, but us fans were expecting a lot. And I think after the Manchester United game, I said in my review, I felt really sad because we're not used to losing at the moment. So suddenly when we lose a game, it's a bit of a shock to the system. But I'm sure Frank will have had a good regroup after the game against Manchester United, seeing the errors, seeing what went wrong, and then we'll go all guns blazing in tomorrow's game against Watford. As I said, yes, Watford are 20th, but it is going to be very, very difficult. And as I said, it is always a hard game at the Vicarage Road, and obviously it is like a London derby. So Frank Lampard reports, I'll tell you about Frank's press conference. So Frank Lampard reports that Tony Rudiger is not fit for the Watford game, and we'll see a consult on Monday regarding a pelvic problem. N'Golo Kante may return for the Ajax game. Ross Barkley and Andreas Christensen not far from returns. So injuries are a bit of an issue for us at the moment as well, aren't they? We've been very injury prone. Our main players have been injured, but hopefully some are on the mend. Obviously Kante back for Ajax and Christensen and Barkley are back not far from returns, but obviously Tony Rudiger is an amazing player for us, and it's a shame that he isn't back yet, but fingers crossed he has a speedy recovery. Now Lampard points out that Pulisic was in the team at the start of the season, and he hopes he can now repeat performances like the one at Burnley. He didn't have a bad game against Manchester United actually, even though we did lose. Pulisic played quite well in my opinion, and he helped out his teammates a lot. Lampard also says the Watford game is a dangerous one, especially if we become overconfident. He points out Watford have pretty much the same players who did well last season. And as I repeat, honestly, it will be a difficult game even though Watford are 20th. And as I said, sometimes when a team are doing badly, it gives them motivation and momentum to go and win a game because they know they have to. Never undermine any side. And so Lampard also said it's a tough decision this weekend over who to select from Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Willian and Pedro, but it's competition, which means players know they have to perform, and that was all from the boss. So that's true, I said that. Players are going to have to fight for them positions, so they know they need to put out a good performance, you know. Yeah, and that's all I have to really say. I'll give my score prediction. I'm going to go for Chelsea to win 3-0. Now that is very confident, maybe overconfident, but I'm going to go 3-0, and I hope that we don't concede a goal. We are prone to doing that, especially Burnley. That was a very clear example of that, and Wolves. We seem to concede them goals, and it always seems to be towards the end of the game sometimes, which is frustrating. Not every game, but some games, which is frustrating. And so I'm saying 3-0 because I want us to hopefully keep a clean sheet, obviously. And I'm just feeling confident. I hope that doesn't come to stab me in the back. But yeah, that's my score prediction. And that's what Frank said. Also, guys, to end this preview, I'm now going to hand you over to Shane from WD18 WD18, the Watford fan channel. Them guys have actually been on my channel before. You guys might have seen them videos. But yeah, so you're going to hear from them. You're going to have a bit of an oppositional preview. I haven't done one of these in ages. So thank you so much to Shane for coming on. I just love getting a different fan perspective from the other side, you know, and fans' perspectives in general from Chelsea and everything. It's just really interesting to hear people's different opinions and stuff. So yeah, I'll hand you over to Shane, but I will end my bit here. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below all your pre-match thoughts, your score predictions and your predicted team lineup. Also, guys, don't forget to tune in straight after the game's finished tomorrow. I'll be bringing you my match review, hopefully talking about us winning 3 points. And now I'll hand you over to Shane. A massive thank you to him once again. It's much appreciated. Come you Blues, up the Chels.
Hey, it's Shane from WD18, the Watford fans channel, here for a quick preview ahead of Watford's game against Chelsea tomorrow. Of course, the Hornets are still without a win in the Premier League this season. I can't believe I'm even saying that. We're in early November at the moment, and we still haven't won a game in the Premier League this season. However, there has been some positives though for Watford. We actually didn't lose a game in October. We came out with 3 points, 3 draws, but that isn't going to be enough, fortunately, despite playing quite well, especially against Spurs, where we should have actually picked up 3 points had it not been for the old VAR. But performances have really kind of lacked whilst Flores has come in and has improved the defence. We're looking a lot better there actually at the back, having switched to a 5 at the back, something that Chelsea will need to be wary of on Saturday. Up front, we seem really quite blunt, and I'm not sure Chelsea's defenders are necessarily going to have too much to do with the way things are currently going. Of course, hopefully that all changes on Saturday. I think a big thing for Chelsea, of course, is the fact that there will be no Troy Deeney for the game. He's still out injured. There'll be no Tom Cleverley, no Domingos Quina as well. There hopefully could be a return for Etienne Capoue. He's been out for a while now, and an Isaac Success is another guy as well who could well be back for Watford. But Etienne Capoue, I think in particular, has been a big miss in the centre of that midfield. He could be partnering, of course, Nathaniel Chalobah, who's an ex-Chelsea player. It'll be interesting to see how he kind of gets on as well. He's made some good appearances, some good starts as well for us recently. He was out injured for a really long time, so it's crucial that he kind of stays fit. And you know, when he was fit for the brief period that he did start playing for us, Chalobah was actually really quality, and I know a lot of Chelsea fans were really disappointed the fact that he left. Ultimately, though, going into the game, I've seen a few Chelsea fans, I think, on social media were quite nervous about the game, calling it a potential banana skin of a tie. I look at it in another way. It's either going to be a game whereby Watford actually capitalise, are able to maybe potentially get a result, hopefully. Chelsea backline don't always look too solid in there, although I am very impressed with Tomori in the backline. I think he's probably one of Chelsea's best defenders in there. I really do like him. But up the field, you guys have got the players to hurt us. Tammy Abraham, Willian. Specifically look at Christian Pulisic, actually, who I think has come into form at just the right time for you guys, or just the wrong time for us anyway. I think, as I say, Pulisic, Abraham, and you guys have got the players up front to really punish us as well. And defensively, whilst we've been looking better, things are not necessarily amazing just yet. I think it'll be an entertaining game. Of course, it is live on Sky on Saturday, and I think it will be a really entertaining game. My prediction for the game, I think this has got a draw written all over it. I don't think we're going to get our first win just yet of the season. Hopefully, it's a high-scoring one. I'm going to go for a 2-2, or actually, I can either see a 1-1 or a 2-2 actually. But let's see what happens. I'm slightly more confident the fact that we will get ourselves a result. I think in previous encounters, especially the one I look at the game on Boxing Day last season, I think it was actually just an error from Watford's Ben Foster, who gave away the penalty when it was 1-1, and ultimately you guys came away with 3 points. We also played really well at Stamford Bridge as well, and ultimately last season, and ultimately fans were saying it wasn't really a 3-0 kind of game. Unfortunately it was, but we missed a hatful of chances in that game. You know, we should have converted them. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, let's see what happens on Saturday.